Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Shut Door. Door should have come back with episode 14, and today I've got a guest and also a bat. We have an angel ring, which means that we have creative flight. So, with that, we are able to, of course, fly. I've also been working on downstairs lava mills. I've moved them all into the overworld, and we should be good to not have to worry about power for a while. Grid power, that is, right? So we can cover this all up. And that's that. What next, right? So we've got creative flight, which means we can basically do whatever in the world we want, especially in the nether. What I want to do is I actually want to work on getting better resistance for my armor, which means we're going to need some materials. Okay? So we have blast resistance, which is blaze powder. We have fire resistance. Or no, fire resistance is blaze powder. This one was... What is blast resistance? Bricks. Okay. And then resistance, which is iron blocks. And what is this one? This one was projectile, so that's arrows. So what I want to get is I need more iron, right? I need more ores. We have a few ways of doing this. We have quarries, which, are quite slow, or we have the digital miner. But we would require getting into mechanism quite a bit to actually get this, right? So what I'm thinking for now is we kind of just stick with what we have. So a quarry, we have the Buildcraft Quarry, which I think is where we're going to go. So the Buildcraft Quarry is very, very slow, and that's kind of why I'm a little hesitant on doing it. And I think to solve this, one of the problems is I don't want to do it in the overworld. So what I'm thinking about is making a portal. Let me be right back. Let me get the materials for this. All right. So after a little bit, I am now ready to make this mining dimension portal. So what this will do is we can actually pop this in the floor. I'm going to just pop it over here. Oop, forgot my scroll wheel is not locked. And we're going to right click with this. So if you don't know what this is a mining dimension. Basically, super flat world with ores, marble, granite, andesite, all of that good stuff, and trees. So this is not the one that was used in the Direwolf 20 pack. That was a completely different mod, but this is pretty interesting nevertheless. So we're actually going to create a waypoint and just put exit. And what we do is, well, we mine, right? Just take out a shovel and we can get to mining here. So this way we will be able to just get more ores. I do not know if Divine RPG ores will spawn in this, by the way. That is something that I'm not 100% sure about. I did attempt to look into it. There's not a whole lot of options for configs or anything, so we're kind of just winging it here. But I'm going to be using this, and this mod will be added in the future. All right, do we have caves? I don't know if we have caves in this one. Well, it looks like mobs do spawn in this dimension. So it's not like, yeah, definitely not like the other one. But we might have to light things up, which is fine. I'm not 100% sure if Divine RPG creatures or anything would spawn in this dimension, but I guess we will see. So, yeah, I'm going to do some mining. You can see all the creatures are spawning. You got llamas. I see some of them. Awesome. And yeah, I will be back in a little while after I do some mining, get some ores, and hopefully have enough iron and a few other resources. I'm going to probably try and avoid going to the nether for now to get more fire resistance, just because, goodness gracious, I died too many times last time. So I think for now I'm going to hold off on that. And yeah, see you guys in a second. Alright, so after a little while, I've got enough resources to make some more modifiers. I've made the projectile modifiers on my boots. I'm currently making resistance modifiers to put on my pants, and we're just going to do this one at a time. Okay, so the max level for this is 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've kind of wasted a few, but that's okay. That's only, what, 12 blocks of iron? So we've got, what is it, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is max? Okay. So we need blast resistance, which means I'm going to need some more bricks. I think the next thing for the armor is to get redstone on it. Not a whole lot of redstone, just a little bit. But I'm going to try and get mending moss on everything. So we have mending moss 2. You know, just better repair overall. And I think that should be pretty decent. I'm actually going to grab some bread out of here. So with that in mind, we should have a little bit better armor, right? I really genuinely wish we had better armor overall. I wish we had the ability to have that. But I don't think there's really any way to get better armor, because defense 20. If we were to get towards Ender IO, of course there is better armor this way. We have the Stellar Chestplate, which is 18, 20, or so. Let's actually just look at Stellar. So this stuff is 7. My helmet is 7.4 armor toughness and 4.48 armor. And this is 7 and 7. So this stuff would actually be way, way better than my current set. So 7 and 8. This is 20. No, wait, hold on. Which one did I click? So this is 28 and 7, right? Isn't that correct? I'm not 100% sure if I'm reading this correctly, right? Because, like, the win on head, but then we have defense. So I'm not sure 100% what that actually means at the end of the day then. But anyway, this armor is better, right? 7 and 18, and this is 7 and 11. So if we could get this, which is going to be a while, right? Like, we need nether stars, melodic ingots, which is, yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. And that is like powered armor, definitely in the future. But I think that's where we're going to head towards sooner or later, right? Once we get to the end, once we get to the defeating of the end dragon, I think we'll start heading that direction. But for now, we're not going to be able to do that just because of everything else. All right, so blast resistance, we have 2, so we can only get 6 levels. So 6 levels, perfect. Nope, that's the wrong one, isn't it? Honestly, I also keep forgetting I have the knapsack. I could be using that for mining. I'm curious. I need to look into something sooner or later about Constructor's Armory, that expansion. I wonder if that would actually be useful for anything, because I know the numbers were like super high, but maybe it's because it actually makes it kind of useful. I mean, because this armor is useful, right? In vanilla Minecraft, this armor would be pretty useful. But it's not like top tier with the fact that it's got only 11.2. Because what? Diamond chestplate has 8 and 2, and this has 11 and 7. So I mean, it's a little bit better on armor. Definitely a lot better on durability. Oh, also, that's something else we haven't done yet. We haven't done this. Everything else should have emerald and diamond on it. Fantastic. But now I don't think we have a modifier for that, which is okay. So let's grab helmet and pants. So pants, mending moss. So we get mending moss 2, mending moss 2. Just better repair and XP storage, which will be good. All right, so now the next part. which I'm probably going to do between this episode and next. I'm not going to do it right now because it's going to take a while. But I mean, I already have fire resistance 6, which is kind of sad because it doesn't seem like it does a whole lot since I just keep getting destroyed every time I step into the nether. But I'm hoping that this will actually just help in general, and we should have... Okay, what in the world is making that noise? Goodness gracious. Like, in here trying to talk, and all I hear is... Rrr, rrr, you know, like, goodness. Okay. So now we should be able to kind of be a little bit better off with armor. Of course, creeper blasts and stuff aren't going to affect us as much. But I'm pretty sure Divine RPG is just going to ignore every ounce of armor and kill us in one shot, or maybe 2 shots now. So, yeah. So what do we want to do for the rest of this episode? I kind of want to start getting towards a storage system. Either that be refined storage or applied energistics. I think for now, we're going to go for refined storage. We've got a controller, grid, probably crafting grid. And we'll just mark the grid as well. And we're also going to need disk drive and an actual disk. But we're also going to need to figure out power a little bit more, because this stuff, of course, the oil generation is good, but I don't know if this is going to be able to support a refined storage system at all. I mean, we can try, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, right? Like, I'm accepting that as an outcome. So let's look into this. So first things first, controller, which we're going to need silicone, which is either quartz or quartz dust. What is that? Is that sugar? It looks like sugar. Oh, crushed quartz. Okay. So I think we're probably going to go with refined storage and just grab some quartz to smelt down. And of course, in this version, we don't have the way to grow Certus quartz, I don't think. I mean, technically, pure Certus quartz exists within this version, which we can grow. And in growing them, let's see. So a Certus quartz seed can be put into an enrichment chamber, and you can make pure Certus quartz. And I believe with pure Certus quartz crystals, yeah, you get basically the ability to duplicate. So we would need to make sand, and then sand and Certus quartz dust. So you throw one crystal in there, right? You get the pulverizer, grind that down. That then makes 2. Then you take 1, grind it down, and repeat and repeat and repeat. You should be able to be decent, right? Or am I wrong because it looks like pure Certus quartz can't be ground down into dust? It looks like that may be the only problem with that idea. I thought there was a way to get Certus quartz dust from pure Certus quartz, though. Okay, anyway. We'll be fine for right now. Let's get some silicone. We're also going to need some quartz-enriched iron. So we're going to need some iron. We're going to need some quartz. And I believe the recipe is this. Yeah, perfect. And I'm pretty sure we have a decent chunk of iron, by the way, in here. All right. And then we'll just do this. Okay. And we've got some silicone. Let's go upstairs real quick. And let's put this together. And also, I can well, actually, I can't smelt those back down, right? So we're just going to keep them. We might use them in the future anyway. All right, so we're also going to need some raw processor stuff. Let me quickly turn weather down because I'm not really in the mood to hear rain all the time. Okay, so we'll need some diamonds. We're going to need some redstone. And we're going to need slime ball. I guess I can use these. And then some string. All right, so then controller, advanced processor, processor binding. And then we throw that into a furnace and we'll get that. Then we actually need some stone. Got 3 pieces of stone. That's a score. All right, let's go toss this downstairs. This thing. There we go. I think this is probably like the earliest I've ever gotten to like refined storage. It kind of feels like it because I haven't been focusing too much on actually technology advancement, right? And then we're going to need some leadstone flux ducts. And let's go connect this downstairs. Okay. So we have that. And then what we should be able to do now is get the disk drive. So we're going to need another raw advanced processor. I'm going to get a few of these things. I'm going to get the disk drive and the grid because this is going to be more crafting. I'm going to get this stuff off camera and I will be right back with you guys in a second. All right, so I've made the 1K storage parts, currently making 3 4Ks, and then 3 4Ks into, not 3 of those, a 16K. This will allow for us to get a decent chunk of items. Probably not everything, but for now, it should be good. All right, so we're going to throw the disk drive down here. Oh, hold on. Completely spaced on that. Let me quickly make this into a actual disk, not a disk part. There we go. And then we, of course, can throw the crafting grid here, and we can actually start tossing items in here. So before we start doing that, I want to get this stuff up here in our system without doing any transferring, right? So how do we do that? Well, Refined Storage offers a few things. And these are, different parts of the system, basically. There's no channels or anything, which is why Refined Storage is probably the easiest and most user-friendly one to get into. But we have external storage. This is a piece of cable that will allow for you to interface with chest, storage drawers, and a few other, odds and end inventories that will allow for you to basically put in the inventory and pull from the inventory, and you can kind of keep that connection going if the either the cable or the inventory is filtered, right? So just keep that in mind. And I can show you what I mean with that in a second here. So we'll get a destruction core, we're going to get a construction core, and we're going to get an external storage. All right, so what we'll want to do is we will want to then take this downstairs, right? So we're going to put a hole in the wall. Ooh, that's not a good thing. All right, so we're going to have to kind of do this a little bit more odd than I'd like, but I want to make sure that this is not... Actually, no, it shouldn't be a problem. This is still going to be pretty dark. I'm going to cover this up anyway, but we should be able to pop out this side. And we'll want to run this cable. We'll probably need to get some more cable here in a second into a piece of this system. So the disk drive is the closest, so we're going to run it into that. All right, so we're going to do... Ooh, is that enough? That might be close to enough. Okay. So we're going to take out this piece of cable. So I actually had one more. And we can put this here. So if I right click on this, you can see that there is a few things you can do, right? So up here is your filter. It's a very, very small filter, but it's a filter nevertheless. I believe there's ways to make bigger filters, but I'm not even sure. I thought there was, but I really don't remember. But yeah, you can put stuff up here, whitelist, blacklist. So if you want everything to go in there, you could do that if you just keep it on blacklist and all of that. So we're gonna access, type, insert, and extract. That's fine, and we're gonna just leave it as such. So let's actually quickly grab some stone here. Should have some right up here. Okay, and we'll just cover this up. Just like so. And of course, we'll want to run one here as well. So let's actually go grab another external storage. But before I do that, if I come down here, you can see everything, right? And this is blocks, nuggets, and ingots because, of course, the compacting drawers show both. But, you know, if you take out the redstone blocks, the redstone's taken out. So, you know, you've got that whole system. So I can actually toss in a few of these items, such as the iron and redstone. The diamonds actually are not thrown in there yet. But you know, currently not using a single piece of the storage. It's all in the drawers. It's a good system. I absolutely love it. All right. I think what we need for the next little bit, for another external, I think we should have everything for an external. One of the things you want to do with the grid is make sure you are, you know, setting it to the right size, whatever size you like, which is this bottom one. And then here we're going to do JEI synchronized. I guess that sounds about right. So extra, I'm actually going to do not automatic. I want to be able to click up here instead. So we're going to look at external storage. Perfect. What do we need? So we need a deconstruction and a construction core. So let's actually grab that. So we're going to need one of these, one of these. We're probably going to need some nether quartz in a little while as well. But that's okay. It's okay. There is our deconstruction. And here is our construction. And then we'll grab our external storage. We're also going to need more cable. Let's grab that while we're here. Fantastic. It's looking like a great start to refined storage so far. But we will then take this. We can actually just run this into this other one. There's no interference or anything, so that is perfectly fine to do. Of course, we want to then put an external storage here, and we're going to do priority, just bump it up a little bit, and then close it on up. I guess I could also just close this up so it's not, oh, I guess not, because the cable's there. We don't have facades or anything, remember that as well. Currently, I'm not going to make them. We have refined storage facades. I think they're made with something. Yeah, they're right here. The cutting tool and a block, you can get facades, but I just don't feel like making any right now. I could make the Oreberry room pretty and all that, but I'm not going to. But yeah, that is everything we need for external storage. Cobblestone, gravel, sand, everything like that. Of course, we will most likely put the diamonds and a few other things in their respective drawers sooner or later. I'm not too worried about that right now. Let's also quickly just toss away some of this stuff because we're actually going to start moving items. And the way refined storage systems work, by the way, is instead of types, if I actually look at applied and I look at their disks, what are they called? Cells, actually. Yeah, you can see that these are bytes and types with applied energistics. Bytes is how many of those items you can store of those specific types. So you only have 63 types. So if you have 63 different items, like diamonds, gold, redstone, you know, a whole bunch of different unique items, that consist of a type. And you can store up to 1024 of every single thing. And once you hit that 1024 and the 63 types, it's full, right? Even if you don't hit the 1024 and you have 63 types, it's full because you can't have more than 63. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of how I always understand it. But with refined storage, you have outright 16,000 items, no more, no less. 16,000 is how much you can store. And of course, you can have multiple disks. Same thing with applied energy sticks, right? So keep that in mind. So that's why we want to do drawers and possibly other things in the future, just so we can keep everything kind of together and not so outspread, right? And how are we doing with power? Doing decently. So we're currently using 7 FE a tick, or forge energy per tick, which is fantastic. Not too shabby. Of course, this is a very small system. We're not using a whole lot of power. We don't have a lot of cables, all of that stuff. So keep that in mind. And of course, if you wanted to, you could use the external storage or I believe the export bus. I can't remember which one is actually which in this version. Or which one is which with refined storage or applied energistics. But one of them you could set to have filters and void certain items if you wanted to, such as armor, tools. If you have wooden pickaxes for some reason and you want to just straight void them, that'd be a way to do that. Of course, we can look into that in the future. All right, so there's that. We can actually just empty this one by hand. Oop. Spazzed out a little bit there. Not 100% sure what just happened. We're going to take everything we can here as well. And just dump it all in here. We're just going to keep repeating this, so I'll be right back. Alright, so everything is now in either a drawer or in the disk, and we only have 7,000 items, so we're a little bit, shy of using half of this, I think. So, right? I don't even know. A little shy of that. So, that is pretty cool. There's a few more items I think I have in here, but everything is in here. So now we have access to basically every item, and I'm also going to change the way we do this, and I think ID sounds good. No, actually, let's do inventory tweaks. Yeah, that makes sense. It's the way we would look at this. I'm going to get rid of this bow, actually. Of course, there's some drawers and stuff that I would love to look at. We will do that in the future. But I think, for now, we're going to wrap up this episode. I think next time I want to get some hopping bonsai pots up and going with oak trees. I've been using silverwood sapling stuff, by the way, for a little while, because this is actually going to be useful in the future. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. We've got plenty of things to do now that we have refined storage up and going, and I cannot wait. Stay awesome. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.